As part of the Paper Stash Smash, I am trying to use up things that are in my stash. Full disclosure, I did purchase this April and Ivy collection this year from an American Crafts vault sale, or it might have come from Office Supply, one of those places that had some great sales. But I vow that is all I'm going to buy, with the exception of maybe a Halloween collection this year, until I use up everything in my stash. Hi everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and I don't know if you know, but I live and travel and craft from my RV. So space is at a premium, and I'm trying to use up things that I have. Of course, I do succumb to seeing haul videos, and I haul things myself. I love this April and Ivy collection. I love this paper. I thought this one was a Halloween paper, so I got a couple of those somewhere. And then when I saw this collection for sale, I said, oh, let me get the whole collection. So I have also been making 9x5 mini albums. I have a tutorial, I have a playlist. You can see all the ones I've been making this month using that. So let me show you what I made with the April and Ivy collection. I didn't have any of the coordinating solids or ephemera that came, but I did use other things from my stash that coordinated. Since I've been going with the theme for travel albums, I decided to make this sort of a travel album, but it could just be adventure, like every day is an adventure kind of thing. Loved the flowers. Those were really pretty, and that was one of the cut aparts. So I added it onto a photo mat, and then added this piece of ephemera I had of a car with suitcases on the front, added this fun gold heart to this front, and that made it as simple as I wanted it to be. I cut several 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Actually, this is 4, I think it's 4 1/2. Yeah, 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. The photo mats are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So if you had a 4x4 picture, you could still put it on here. And I also had 4 1/2 by 6 1/2 photo mats, so you could add photos. Now these are interchangeable. You can take them out and move them. If you wanted to put that here, you could do that, or just add a 4x6 photo, or even a 5x7 photo, but just cut down just a little. So here I've got some ephemera, the little bike, as you saw. I just thought that was pretty. This paper was adorable. I loved the birds. And again, I took some ephemera that was in my stash and added it. There was a about 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 cut apart sheet, and I backed them on black cardstock and put them on the pockets. The pockets I also added on the border strip of the paper. There was a design that I thought was fun to use, so I did that to some pockets where it worked. So again, that's the 4 1/2 by 6 1/2 photo mat. You could put photos on both sides and put a photo here of any size. This book is made of 5 signatures, and each signature is like this. So there's a plain page, a plain page, a pocket page, plain, and plain. And then there's the next signature. So here is another place where the signatures met. I used this black and white paper. It's not white, black and off-white paper. So I put some photo mats on here, and I had some camera ephemera that I thought would be really nice for this page. Now, again, if you only had one photo here, you could journal on this page. You don't have to put 2 photos if you don't want to, or put a smaller photo and journal on the bottom. So again, I loved this paper. Here's that little border strip that coordinates a little butterfly, and there's the paper on the back. Love that. That's so pretty. Love the butterfly paper too, and again, that's the small cut apart, and there is a photo mat that you could put photos on both sides. Here's again the page that matches. This actually is paper from a different collection. I was trying to stretch out the paper. There wasn't that much paper that coordinated, so I had to add some extra paper so I didn't repeat patterns. But you know what, if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't have noticed. Here we are with a 4 1/2 by 6 1/2 photo mat, and room to put a photo right there. Love that border strip of the birds. Isn't that cute? And here we are with another one. This was just from my stash, but it matches. This paper was from my stash as well, and so were the two pieces of ephemera. I didn't want them to be matchy-matchy, but I wanted them to coordinate with the paper. Here's that paper that I loved so much. Wouldn't that be fun for Halloween? It's not Halloween-y, but it's orange and black and white. So here is a photo mat right there. And here is, again, some coordinating paper. I liked this off-white and black paper. Now, the reason I like the size is because if you go to national parks in the United States, you can get these brochures, and they're 9x4, or no, 8.5x4, so they would fit nicely into these pockets. And then here is another page. Again, it's paper that doesn't go with the collection, but it coordinates. This paper does go with the collection because there's the birds that we love. See, I didn't think this paper would stand on its own on a page, but it's a nice background paper. Here is another fun page, and I mean, if you were to put a photo here, that would be gorgeous. It's a really bold print, but you put a photo on it and the colors just shine through. And I use this paper again because I liked it. I use this library style closure for the pocket, added any extra cut-aparts that I had, and just put them in here with another photo mat. You can put anywhere you want in the book. This is an accordion pocket, so it really opens up wide. There's a lot of room here, so you could add a lot of things into this pocket. That's why I thought it would be fun for a travel journal, because you can add so much in here. Sometimes I do it this way, sometimes I do it the other, and in any case, I think I have way too much elastic for there. There's the back page, the spine, and there we go. So again, that was using the April and Ivy collection I picked up, probably from American Crafts. It just was a fun collection to use, bright and colorful. I used up almost everything I had except for some small bookmark size pieces that I will use in a future video. That's what I wanted to show today. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification, and thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous day.